Hello, Seraphim1313 here with my SGDQ submission 2017 for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Hero Story. I'm planning on submitting this video twice, once as a race with Draco Dan, and secondly as an All Stories run as a relay with Pearstrike and A Sinister Taco, where each one of us will run one of the three stories in the game. So with that, I'm going to get started. So Hero Story is focused on Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. And there are three play styles of stages throughout the run. There's the speed stages played by Sonic, the mech stages played by Tails, and the treasure hunting stages played by Knuckles. The goal of the speed stages is to get from point A to point B very quickly. We're going to do that through a number of means. For Sonic's mechanics, we're going to be utilizing his spin dash a lot, which gives us a lot of speed, and we're going to want to use that especially on downhill areas because the acceleration will keep going. If I'm on solid ground or going uphill, I'm going to want to chain spin dashes together as best as possible. And coming up, I'm actually going to try a trick here. I'm going to line myself. Oh, I did not want to hit that. Now, I will go for the skip once, but if I don't get it, then I don't get it. Let's see if I can. If I get off that. Okay, I didn't get it. So there's a trick there where if you get enough speed off of that ramp, you can clip out of bounds into the speed pad, and it'll push you 30 seconds further into the level. Sadly, I did not get it. You could look at my PB video that's playing in the bottom left corner if you wanted to see what that skip looks like. It's very hard to do, but it is pretty cool to get. It's just kind of hard to do the timing properly because it's a pretty tricky trick to do. I'm also going to be using another mechanic as Sonic where I'm doing homing attack cancels. So normally when you do a normal homing attack, you lock onto an enemy and attack it. But if you do a cancel, you do the actual attack, but you cancel the targeting and the ability to damage the enemy, but you go forward a little bit farther. So we'll use that to get a little extra distance on our jumps as necessary. And then for this section, I'm going to try my best to stay on the ground as best as possible. Because if you fly off the ramps, it's costs a lot of time, about 2 seconds. And the reason I lost so much time there is because of the fact that I didn't get the City Escape skip trick in this video. I'm doing this run live because I think it's important to show what could happen in any given run. So this is me practicing both commentary and running at the same time and showing what most likely will happen in a race or marathon setting, or what could happen at least. So all the boss fights in this game are manipulated pretty easily. So we're just going to jump on this box, and when you jump into the cockpit like that, he gets pushed back, and we can just kind of lock him into place. And then that's the fight. Pretty simple, not too hard. Coming up next is Wild Canyon, the first Knuckles stage of the game. The Knuckles stages are all RNG based. We're going to need to find pieces of the Master Emerald, and they're in different locations and spawn in random locations. However, we can utilize these hint monitors in order to know which piece is where. There are a couple pieces that spawn in multiple locations. So Stone Statue Quartet, for example, could have been in the first stone that I checked, or that second one where it was actually in. The Sandy Path piece can be in multiple locations. I unfortunately got the farthest one, which is too bad, but, well, it happens. And then this piece is always in the same location. So by memorizing piece locations, the hit monitors, and all that good stuff, we can get some pretty fast times. So some pieces are just simply better than others. It's just the reality of the run. But typically, the RNG variant isn't so bad that it's impossible to do. Like, it wouldn't, like, ruin an estimate or anything like that. So Eggman 1 is a pretty simple boss. I'm just going to shoot forward, and he's going to walk towards me, and he sometimes shoots, sometimes doesn't shoot. I'll just dodge that, and then that's the fight. Pretty easy fight because we know his path for his AI. Alright, so Prison Lane is the first mech stage in the run. The tail stages are similar to the Sonic stages in that you're trying to get from point A to point B, but the big difference is that we're going to be using Tails as mech instead of Sonic, and we're going to use a couple different mechanics. For example, I'm going to be shooting enemies to clear them from my path. The Tails mech moves a little bit differently as well. There's no way to get his acceleration up other than him just walking. So we're going to try to do our best to keep our momentum going as best we can. And we're going to do that by not turning too sharply while on the ground and utilizing our jumping. If you want to make a sharp turn, we're going to be doing jumps instead so that I can conserve as much momentum, because jumping conserves a little bit more momentum than other methods of movement. And just trying to move along with the camera and just kind of timing so that I don't bump into the gates as I'm going under them. For Prison Lane in particular, you want to be pretty good about your lock-ons so you can get these doors open as quickly as possible. And I'm going to try to use as short of jump as I can, because the longer Tails is in the air, the more momentum he loses, but sometimes you do have to make those big jumps, so you have to be really aware of what jumps to make. I also like that we can hop onto these little things and just kind of go up here. Saves about 2 seconds. Oop, the guy didn't get locked onto.
I did it!
So in case you're wondering, the ranks that we get at the end of each stage is determined on how many points you get, which you get through like killing enemies and doing other things. So I'm gonna try and do. You can't really get an A rank in the normal run because while you get a time bonus for how fast you go, you don't kill enough things to get enough points to get the A rank. So unfortunately, I can't show off the A rank. I know GDQ chat's always like, oh, he didn't get an A rank. This must not be very good, but it's because we're trying to just go fast. We don't care about our rank. So Metal Harbor is the second Sonic stage. We got an upgrade, oh, that was really weird, called the Light Shoes that allows us to go along lines of rings, as you saw me do earlier. I'm also going to be utilizing a trick called Storage. So Storage is a property that we use in this game to get the somersault mechanics, as in like being able to go under little overhangs like that really quickly without actually doing the somersault animation. And we can do that because the spin dash button and the somersault button are on the same key, or same button. So what you do is, if you do sort of a hybrid where you like don't push it all the way to get a spin dash but not a tap, so you get a somersault, you can get the properties of the somersault without actually doing a somersault or charging a spin dash. We're also going to use this trick on the next boss and also throughout the run.
Barely made it.
So we have our famous Faker cutscene that I'll just let play out.
So good. Hey, that's
that blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you, Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh.
So the way this fight works is Shadow's going to move towards us and slightly to the left, so I'm going to follow his location and I'm going to storage into him. So normally you have to either be behind him or somersault into him, but if you just storage into him, we can just hit his hitbox without actually having to somersault, because that takes longer, so we can kill him pretty quickly by doing that. So Green Forest can be a tricky Sonic stage because the game typically likes to throw Sonic up into the air, which is really, really annoying. Because we want to go fast, and the more Sonic's on the ground, the better. There's also a really challenging trick in this run called the wall run, which I will explain as we get closer to it. It's one of those tricks, sort of like CE skip, where I don't really want to grind for it, but it's super cool to show off, and it's not nearly as hard as City Escape skip, although it is still pretty hard. So hopefully I'll be able to get it in this submission video. It's one of those tricks where if I'm feeling on it, I get it like all the time, and if I'm not feeling it, I seem to struggle with it. So we'll see which one it is today. I was warming up earlier, and was kind of on and off. So what we are going to just do is skip this loop because it's too slow to go around it. So the way the wall run works is that there's a loop that's coming up that once I get onto it, I'm going to be going upside down, and I will get a lot of speed. But instead of actually going on that loop, what we're going to do is get onto a little ledge of the loop, and we're going to do a spin dash around it. See if I can get it. I'm going to concentrate for a second. Okay, so what I just did is I stored the property of the wall run onto Sonic by getting behind the loop and getting the getting onto another platform. So I wasn't actually ever on the loop because I did a homing attack behind the loop, so it keeps the property on Sonic, which is pretty nice. So we're able to go up that tree and then spin dash farther into the level. So that saves about 15 seconds over doing the stage normally.
Just made it.
Really glad I got that because it can be kind of a pain to get sometimes. So now we're moving on to Pumpkin Hill, the next RNG stage in the run. This stage is split into three main areas: the Church Mountain, the Ghost Train Mountain, and the Pumpkin Mountain. We're going to get an upgrade that's going to help Knuckles out a lot called the Shovel Claws, which allows us to dig into different places to get pieces, because some pieces aren't going to be visible. You also probably just noticed that I grabbed a hit monitor as I grabbed the upgrade. What that does is it cancels out the text for the upgrade and allows us to save a couple seconds. So now I'm just using the hit monitors to find the pieces. I happen to get some pretty good pieces. Very high up is pretty nice. And you saw there the can't jump there is a diggable piece. Same with this one coming up over here. So I got pretty good RNG actually.
Yeah, this is perfect.
So now we're on to the next tail stage, Mission Street. Mission Street is a cycle-based stage. What I mean by that is there's going to be a point on the level where there's some elevators that are going up and down, and I want to try and get to a set of elevators at by a certain time so that I can get it as it's coming down and I don't have to wait for the next cycle. We're going to get an upgrade in this level called the Booster, which is going to allow Tails to hover, but we're going to abuse the mechanic a little bit. So normally when you do a jump and then another jump, you do a hover. But what we're going to do is if you press A and A again really quick, some of that height that you get from the boost, the boost gives you some extra height. So we can get a little bit more height than we're supposed to and jump onto things we're normally not supposed to. So for that weight, for example, you see me do a little pause buffer there. The reason I do that is you get as much height as you by how quickly you jump from the first jump to the second jump. So if you buffer the frame between the first and second jump, you can guarantee you get a bunch of height off of that trick. So that allows us to get over those black boxes, which you're normally not supposed to. And then one of the tricky parts is coming up. I have to no-scope this wooden box. Oh, I missed it. I should be able to save it. I should be able to make... Ooh, this is going to be close. Okay, I barely made that. So that's the quickest cycle in the run, 0 cycle. That can be kind of a hard cycle to get. The reason we call it 0 cycle is because we previously didn't think we could get that cycle until we learned we could do a pause jump onto that weight at the beginning of the level. So I barely made that. That's why it's important to get the box snipe, because if you get the box right away, you can just quickly grab the switch. But if you don't, then you kind of have to line up and grab the switch. I have no idea why Tails punched that guy. That was really weird. So the rest of the level is just clearing out cars, making sure Tails can carry his momentum, making sure not to take too sharp a turn so I lose my momentum.
I did it!
This level used to be one of the more comfortable levels in the run because getting the first cycle is actually pretty easy, even without getting the weight cycle. But now that we go for 0 cycle, you have to have some pretty clean movement in order to get it. Now we're on to the next RNG stage, Aquatic Mine. I'm going to be looking for some free pieces that are floating around. Hey, I actually got one. So one thing that you can keep in mind is that you don't have to get the pieces in order. So I can see like this piece, for example, and grab it right away. Oh, wow. So there's a free piece I can check for, and I should have done it. I usually do, I just didn't. Of course, the one time I don't is the time I get it. We check for some free pieces here at the top because it is kind of annoying to come back up here and get it. So I could have broken that and checked it. Sometimes it costs a little bit of time to do so, but typically it's worth it because if I had gotten that free piece, I would have had a really, really good time. I mean, I still did get a really good time. But man, I could have had an excellent time. So now we're coming up to a unique stage in the run, Route 101. The driving stages are unique, so what happens is every 20 rings you get a boost. And we're going to try to use those boosts as efficiently as we can. So when we go down hills, we gain a little bit of speed, and we go up hills, we lose a little bit of speed. So we're going to try and boost when we're going up little hills, or big hills. You're also going to notice that I'm drifting here, and I will talk a little bit more about why I'm doing that in just a moment, because I want to show off this fun little trick that is never a good GDQ run for SA2 without showing this off. So the reason I'm drifting is because it removes one of the speed caps in the game. So typically you will get height, like you'll get a certain amount of speed capped by boosting, and you lose amount of speed depending on if you hit cars or go up hills and all that kind of stuff. But Tails has a default decel cap that will automatically cause him to slow down if you don't drive drift-wise, but if you drift, you remove a speed cap, so I can keep the speed that I get from boosts and from going downhill by drifting. It also helps me to control the car a little bit better, and I have no idea why Tails went out of his backwards form. Sometimes what happens is if you go too slow or you go too straight, he'll kind of recorrect his animation, I guess, if is the correct wording for that. I don't want to hit that car. So really I'm just trying to do good ring management and kind of gauging how many rings I have so that I can make sure I'm getting the next booster when I go up hills. So this was a pretty solid Route 101. This stage is one of the more like boring levels in the run. This would be a really good time for donation readings once we explain the mechanics of it. We've been desperately trying to find a skip for this level, but to no avail, unfortunately. So Hidden Base is probably the most technical tail stage in the run. There's going to be a lot of really precise jumps that I'm going to want to do, and it can be really hard to keep your momentum going because it's kind of a confined area. I'm going to try a trick, and the reason I can get up there, by the way, is because of the boost jumps. You're not supposed to be up here, obviously. So now I'm going to try to do a corner skip. So these two walls in front of me are solid. However, if you hit the corner of them, you don't lose a lot of height, and you can get further into the level. That saves about 4 seconds. So I want to make sure I'm destroying objects and doors that are in my way so that I can keep my momentum going. I'm trying to be really pushing my boost jumps in a way that I can land as quickly as possible so Tails can get his momentum going, because if you drop down, you lose a little bit of speed versus if you just like do a smooth landing, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to be doing a chain of boost jumps in just a minute here. There we go. I want to destroy those early so I can get these, not have to wait for this to fall as far. And that's pretty much the level. So that was actually a pretty solid hidden base. I'm usually happy with anything that's sub 150.
That was easy.
So if Hidden Base is the most technical Tails level, I would say Pyramid Cave is the most technical Sonic level. Mainly because you have to have some really clean movement in order to get a really good time. And there's just a lot of like small tricks we're gonna do. There's an upgrade coming up called the Bounce Bracelet that will allow us to pretty much break the game. Oh yeah, oops. Well, I was supposed to get more height off that, but this is fine, I guess. Normally you can get a lot of height and go up somewhere and it saves a little bit of time. So that was a little slower than I wanted it to be, but that's alright. So the Bounce Bracelet is going to help us to break the Sonic levels in 2 ways. The first is I'm going to convert all my horizontal momentum into vertical momentum, and I can get a ton of height off of it. So if you do a horizontal spin dash into a wall and you bounce up off of it, you get a lot of vertical height. This isn't with the Bounce Bracelet, but we can just skip doors. There's a little, oops, little gap there that we can get through. The second thing we can do with the Bounce Bracelet is we can skew gravity. So if we do a spin dash off of an angled surface, wow, that guy sniped me. Off of an angle, wow, these, oh, I've never had that happen where I've hit all those ghosts before. That's weird. So if I go off of an angled surface and I bounce while I'm in like a certain angle, I can kind of launch myself forward and get across areas like that. And skip part of the level. Sorry, I thought I had made a mistake for a second there, but I didn't. So just to show out the Bounce Bracelet again. There we go. Yeah, so between the little mix-up at the start where I didn't get the amount of height I needed, plus the ghosts were hugging me, I lost a little bit of time. But no worries. A sub 150 is still pretty respectable. Alright, now we're on to Death Chamber. Death Chamber is probably the most frustrating Knuckles stage in the run. I'm going to just look for some free pieces. Okay, didn't get it. We're going to get these hammer gloves that allow us to break metal boxes. This stage is split into this main area coming up, and then the red room, which we started in, as well as the, I gotta go as well as the green room, and the blue room. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate, making sure I'm planning things out. I don't want to grab that, so I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to let Knuckles die intentionally to restart it in the blue room, or I mean the red room. Now I'm going to show off a clip here called the booty clip, because we get behind this thing. And if you jump up, we can clip out a bounce, which is going to help us get to a later part of the level, or the blue room, really quickly, which is where we need to go next anyway.
It's closer.
Unfortunately, the RNG's been pretty poor for me in this Death Chamber. Death Chamber, by far, has the worst RNG. Well, I get to show you a lot of it because this is an awful piece. You can just tell I'm losing a bunch of time according to against my personal best, just because the game can be just so annoying with the RNG. Thankfully, we have clips that allow us to go a little bit faster to get pieces. So that stage can be really, really annoying. Thankfully, I was able to recover a little bit. I wish I would have... I kind of made a mistake getting that first piece. I'm normally supposed to go through another way to get it, but that's okay. It's not a big deal.
Who's there?
It's kind of annoying for a race because sometimes if one runner gets better RNG than another, it's pretty easy to win. But I still feel like it's really... You usually don't get that big of a variance, typically. I got some particularly poor pieces that I normally don't get that bad, but, well, it happens. So Keen Boom Boo, if you ever played it growing up, is a boss where you have to hit this hourglass, and then you have to dig him up and hit him, and then he runs too fast. But what we can do is we can glide forward, and we can keep our momentum after punching him, and just keep hitting him. And we can one-cycle him then. So that saves a ton of time while we're doing the fight normally, which is pretty nice. So that boss is actually not too bad to get used to for speedrunning. This next boss, however, is a lot harder. Egg Golem is a really challenging boss because I'm going to be using super bounces to hit him really quickly. And the time that I have to execute the inputs for the super bounce is really tight. So I have to be really quick. I also have to make sure I get enough speed so that I can get enough height. Oh, and then that was really weird. So yeah, just really weird boss fight. Can just do a bunch of strange stuff like that. So that wasn't the cleanest Egg Golem, but let me tell you, it could have been a lot worse. So I will definitely take that for just kind of a submission run video.
Nice try, Rocky.
So now we're on the last Tails level and the first space level of the game. The space levels are where the game gets really interesting and really broken. Just like Mission Street, this Tails stage is a cycle-based stage, so I'm going to try and get to a certain part of the level as quickly as I can so that I can make the cycle of or I guess it's platforms in this case. Oop, I didn't want to bonk on the door there. One trick that we use is if we do a little jump before doors open so that we can conserve as much momentum as possible. Otherwise, you bonk into the door if you go full speed at it. The first cycle isn't... You have to have some pretty solid movement. Little mistakes can definitely add up and force you to, or cause you to miss it. But I'm pretty sure I'm on good pace right now if I play well enough. No, I'm not. So what happened there is I accidentally went too low, and so the elevator thought I was under it, and it went down. So I missed the first cycle, unfortunately. But I will definitely have a very easy second cycle to make. So that's too bad. That's going to cost me about 7 to 10 seconds. Yeah, so I would have been over there already had I made the first cycle. we go over to this generator thing and we do a little hover, we can push tails at an angle and clip them out of bounds. So now I'm going to fly to the end of the level. Yeah, the way that works is that somehow with the generator, if you put tails at a right angle, he'll clip out, and, well, it saves about 45 seconds to a minute, so that's pretty nice time save for us. This would probably be a good time for donations as well, because there's really not that much to talk about once I'm out of bounds. My goal range is right there.
I did it! I gotta do better next time.
Now we're on to the last RNG stage of the run, Meteor Herd. Meteor Herd can be also a pretty annoying level. The piece variance isn't as, like, the pieces themselves aren't that bad to get. It's just that they can be really far away from each other sometimes. So they're split into this ground area, this middle area with a bunch of platforms, plus a top area. So I got kind of an awkward first piece because if you go low enough, you kind of have to go back down to the rocket I just went up to get back up again, at least to get it back up quickly. Unfortunately, I got a piece at the very top, which actually isn't that bad for a second piece. It's just kind of hard because I wasn't already in the middle area ready to go up. So, not optimal RNG, but I guess I can't really expect that either. So I got about middle, bottom, middle, top, middle is pretty good. This one's over here. Oh, that was weird. Cool. So not too bad.
Yeah, this is perfect.
So Rouge is the last boss fight for Knuckles. This fight's actually pretty easy to manipulate. What I'm going to do is glide forward and do a drill dive on Rouge, and then she's going to try and do an attack. I'll dodge it, and then what I'll do is I'll keep drill diving into her and lock her into place, and then we can beat her relatively quickly. Aw, rats. Sub 15 is kind of the dream, but I didn't get it. Now I'm going to be attempting what's probably the hardest trick in the run. Probably because it's more consistent than the City Escape skip. But because it's so much later in the run, it's hard to really reset and grind for this skip. It's a trick called Crazy Gadget Super Skip. There was a trick that we found way back, way before I even started running, that you can skip about 30 seconds of the level. Well, a couple years ago, we found another trick that allows us to clip through some kill planes on another side. And if we can see if I can do this, I'll explain it. So you try it. Okay, I'm out of bounds, so I went underneath some kill planes. And then using my positioning, I can use... Be a little high. Okay, no, I got it. Cool. So I have a visual cue to show where I'm going to be, and I can know where the goal ring is based on my visual cue. So that trick is actually really hard to pull off because you have to do it blind. You have to kind of sandwich your way through some kill planes. There's like one kill plane on the top as you clip out, so you have to go a little low, and then there's one a little low, so you have to go back up, and then one that's up, and then you have to go down again. So it's kind of finicky to play with. Once you get it, though, it's not too bad. Alright, so Eggman round 2. He always moves to the right, so I'm just going to shoot to the right there. And then after the second attack, he's going to launch this giant laser beam at me, which I'll just get around. Now he's going to try and do some rockets, but I got him before he would got to launch them. So now I'm on Final Rush. This is the last stage of the run before the last boss. This stage is pretty neat because there's a bunch of rails we can grind on, and there's a wall run and a bunch of cool stuff. Unfortunately, all of that is slower than just skipping the entire level, which is what I'm going to do. So, let me just get into position, concentrate real quick for this. So using the bounce bracelet, I can skew Sonic's gravity. And then I have to count properly to get underneath some kill planes and around some kill planes, but I can't go too far over or I hit a kill plane. Alright, that should be good. Alright, nice, I got under them. So once I get around these kill planes and underneath them, I can fall to the end of the level. I am holding up on my control stick, so you do have to push forward in order to get there. And then in about 10 seconds or so, I should see some structures coming up, telling me where my positioning is. Okay, yeah, ooh, this is a little lower than I like it, but we should be plenty fine. I'll probably get caught by a wall here, but that's okay. If you're too low, you'll fall off, but if you're high enough and get caught by the wall, it won't matter.
Huh, no problem.
So now we are on the last boss fight of the run. Shadow 2. The way this boss fight works is his AI is going to jump up into the air once you hit him the first time. But as he's going down, he can be attacked again. Oops, I was a little late there. And time. Alright. Nice. So that's Hero Story. It's a really fun run with a lot of really neat, aesthetically pleasing tricks. A little bit of RNG to keep the run interesting, and I think makes for a really cool race category because there are so many strats you can do. Because there's some really risky things you can do, but if you don't do them, but if you fail them, you know it goes a lot. You lose a lot of time versus doing some safer strats that would be more consistent but are a little bit slower. And so it makes for a really dynamic race and just a really fun run to do in general. Super fun to show off. I'd love to get this run in just because I think it'd be a really competitive race, or otherwise with the relay run I think it'd be neat to complete CGSS since it hasn't been done at a GDQ yet. So if you have any questions about the run or would like to know more, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you guys soon.
Good to go? Okay, we're live. Hey everybody, I'm Pearstrike. I'm going to be playing SA2B today for you. We're going to be doing Dark Story because it is better. And let's go, dude. 3, 2, 1, boom. Dark Story, Iron Gate hype. Awesome. So this is the first level. One of the many reasons why Dark Story is the best. Because, you know, I think the fan favorite Sonic character is Dr. Eggman. And this run has a real lot of them, including maybe the perfect level of all video game history, Iron Gate. So we always say Iron Gate hype, and this is why this run is so good, because when I lose a run and I have to reset on stream or whatever, Iron Gate hype, you know, it's great because we could just play more Iron Gate. So it's all good. This level does have 2 auto-scrollers, but it's fine. Because during one of them, I mean during both of them, you don't have to really stand on this thing. You could like wait up there. You don't have to stand on the lift, but I just jumped down because, I don't know. I like practicing my wave dashes and stuff. on this elevator. But Eggman, I guess to start explaining the characters, or just this run in general, this game has 3 characters that you're going to be switching through. The Speed character, which is Sonic or Shadow, in our case Shadow. The Mech character, which is Tails or Eggman, our case Eggman. And then the Treasure Hunting character, which is Knuckles or Rouge, and we're going to be doing Rouge. Also, right here, probably the best part of Iron Gate. Oh my god, dude! We got the bunny, let's go. Alright, so in that pipe, you could get bunny or skunk. Obviously, we want the bunny. That's good luck. Sometimes it's a false prophet. Sometimes that bunny, it does not let me PB. I actually don't think I ever have. I literally almost died. That would have been super embarrassing. Holy crap. Alright, great. We're doing good. we're alive. Holy cannoli. That bunny really was almost just a huge false prophet. Oh god. Okay, but we're doing good, man. Iron Gate hype. Shoot that box. Get the missile. You know, bada boom, bada bing. Oh yeah, so Eggman, I guess I'll explain Eggman in another level. But yeah, Eggman, Shadow, Rouge. Next, we're going to be doing Shadow. The characters switch between each other pretty frequently. So, you know, you're going to... I mean, there's like a couple... There's like 2 levels with 2 Eggman levels in a row. But other than that, like, it's always a different character. So, like I said, dude, there's a lot of Eggman. This is the easiest boss. Probably the easiest split in the whole game. Or in this whole run. It's kind of tricky to get it down at first, though, because the inputs are, like, kind of weird. But basically, we just combo this guy before he can even move. And then we get up on this box, kill him in the air, because it's a second faster to kill him in the air. Hut, hut, hut. The reason is because when you kill him in the air, I don't know, for whatever reason, his death animation is quicker. It speeds it up a little bit, so. Thanks, everyone, for the good luck, dude. I'm happy to be here at Valuethon. This is going to be fun, dude. Alright, Dry Lagoon. So this is the first Rouge stage. Now, if you've ever seen SA2B runs, you know the treasure hunting stages are a piece of work. Second floor. So basically, okay, it's going to be hard to explain right now, because right now I'm checking for a bunch of free pieces. There's a pillar in my way. A bunch of pieces that don't show up on my radar yet, but that could appear, that I could see off in the distance before I actually get the hint. And that saves, obviously, a lot of time, because you could just get it on your way to another piece. But basically, with the treasure hunting stages, they're actually my favorite stages in the game, because Rouge is super fast, and it's really fun to move her. Also, to learn these levels, you basically just have to play the game. Are you serious? I checked for this. Well, this was one of the free pieces, but I screwed it up, dude. But it's okay. This is still, you know, a nice run. This is still, this is 0.2 seconds behind my PB, so we're rolling pretty well. That wasn't great luck. That was like a little, you know, that was like average. That was pretty average. A 50 is average. What I really want is like a 40 or, you know, even lower. I think the best I ever got was like a 25 or 26, which is insane. You have to get like a super... Oh, and the reason I broke that jar in the beginning too is because a free piece could be in there. So that's like the ultimate free piece, and then all the other ones you check for. But yeah, basically with the Rouge stages, you get the first hint. Oh my god. Okay, so this first jump is hard. But yeah, so you get the first hint. Okay, great. Okay, good. This is a really hard level. I'll explain it in a second. But you get the first hint, and you basically just play all the Rouge levels an insane, nauseating amount until you know where each first hint leads. And in some levels, the first hints, like, it depends on what piece it is. And the hint might be different. But we'll see that more in Security Hall, so... Yeah, Rouge levels could be a pain in the butt, but... This level is a pain in the butt. This is probably one of the hardest levels in this run to get perfect, and we are currently. Oh my god, I almost fell off. Okay, we just got first cycle, which is really, it's a really hard, you have to be going pretty fast. I've been running this game for a little while now, though. I'm getting it pretty consistent. But basically, if you screw up, if you go like a little slow in the beginning of the level, really at any point, oh, that should not have worked, but we did it. That fence jump is super precise too. But if you like, yeah, if you get like stuck on something in the beginning, or like, you know, hitched up at all, basically that could spell your doom and you won't make the first cycle. I'm also gonna go for a kind of hard jump here, but I got it super on lock recently. I have a really consistent setup for that. There we go, dude. This level, oh my god, this level is beautiful. This might be a 150 or something, which is my best time. Basically, if you could get this cycle and you get all the cool swag jumps and all that stuff, yeah, basically you'll get like the same time every time, 150 or 152, if it's all optimal, or 151 obviously. All right, cool, dude. That was super nice. Oh, but we died in the beginning. That's right. All right, whatever. Ahead 0.0. We'll take what we could get. Yeah, that first jump is super precise. And this level just takes an amazing amount of time to get good at. You know, like everything speedrunning, but you really got to grind it a lot. Mostly just because Eggman moves so bad. Here's the first shadow level, Radical Highway. Hopefully it's not Sadical Highway, am I right? Okay. I like this level. This is probably one of my favorite shadow levels. I like the shadow levels, but whoa, so that happens sometimes. And that's slow, but there's really nothing you could do about it because this game is programmed well. Sometimes you just clip through the loops. Luckily for us, most of the time, it's during the top part of the loop, but it does happen when you're just running on the track. Sometimes you might just clip through the floor. It's okay. It happens. It's like it's a hazard of running this game. So yeah, this level is pretty straightforward. We're gonna be doing a couple like loop skips. Really nothing too oh, ow, jeez Louise. Going a little slow. I missed that cycle. That first cycle. You could also even get the early cycle if you go super fast. I have this one strat that I do. I didn't go for it though. I should have went for it. It's not too big of a deal if you miss it or anything, but now this used to be super hard, but I have a visual cue for this now. But getting on this bridge rail is like super impossible if you don't know exactly where to stand. But we got it, man. We're living large. Now with Shadow, there's a couple big tricks, but the main trick is storage. Basically, if you hold B, like right now, like right there, kinda, you could just go under stuff like while in his walking animation. Oh, I gotta mash. No, I suck. Okay, whatever, that's all right. And so you could just basically slide under a bunch of things. We'll be seeing that a lot in the forest level, White Jungle coming up. So, did I get that right? No, it's all right. It's decent. So that's basically that. Who made this terrible bridge? This is actually the New Jersey Turnpike, fun fact. Pretty accurate to what it is in real life. As someone who lives in New Jersey, I can attest to that. Alright, great. So that was kind of slow, you know, not great, but whatever. Also, another thing to point out is there's no emblem cutscene. I am playing this on the Nintendo GameCube. Actually, on the Nintendo Wii. And that is the slower version. The fastest version is on PC. But yeah, I do play on the Wii. The reason why is because I like it. I like playing on my TV. I don't really like streaming or playing stuff from my PC. And also my PC might explode if I try. But we go by IGT. So basically, this version is just a little bit slower because it has like... Oh, it's this way. Because it has a couple less TV monitors for rouge hints. So that's the only reason it's like actually a little slower. But other than that, basically the same speed, so you could really do whatever. The foreman is this way. So you could basically do whatever you want with that. So these are pretty good hints, pieces so far. But yeah, so there's an emblem cutscene. So GameCube is... Oh, I don't need to kill these guys. They won't be there. So GameCube is... Oh, nice. Is about Ooh, Condor's egg. So this could be in red or green room. Is about 3 minutes slower because of load time. Like, it's super slow. But I do this thing called emblem glitch, where basically you can only do it on GameCube. And, hold on. Okay, good, it's in here. And basically what you do is when the game is saving on one of the racing levels, you just reset the console through your controller, and then all the emblem cutscenes that are supposed to pop up after every level don't. And so that saves about 2 minutes RTA. So now I'm only about a minute behind PC with loading times and all that. So yeah, so that's basically that. You know, it's just done as like as like a convenience thing, and just so I can compare better to those players. So that's basically that. It's not super important. That was a decent egg quarters. Nah, it was pretty average, honestly. Pretty average luck today. So this is Lost Colony. This is actually like probably the worst Eggman level. I mean, I guess Iron Gate actually is. Don't tell anyone I said that though, because Iron Gate hype. But, you know, this level is pretty straightforward. There's really not much going on. You do get the flying boots or whatever, the mech shoes. I don't know what it's called. Fun fact, if you just go down that hill and not hit the zipper pads, it's like hecka faster. I just learned that recently because I'm bad at routing stuff. Like, I'm bad. Well, I mean, it was already found, but I just forgot. I don't know, whatever. Gotta kill this guy or he'll blow you up. Blows up. Alright, gotta shoot that, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go for a strat I call Cool Guy 69, and that's coming up soon. First I'm gonna do this, which is a little risky, but a tiny bit faster. Although the way I do it usually doesn't end up me saving up any time, so whatever. Okay, so the strat's coming up here. It's gonna require a pause buffer, which we will see a lot in the next level. Oh, we got it. Cool. So basically in this game, if you hover, optimally if you hover the second frame after you jump, you get the highest height. So basically we pause buffer to hover as soon as possible after jumping. You can do it without pause buffering, but pause buffering is like a consistent way, but it's still a little sketchy for me. That's like the only sketchy part of this level. Other than that, this level's free. I'm trying to incorporate it more though, but yeah, dude, shouts out to Cool Guy 69. Pretty cool strat. And here's another auto scroller, I guess. I don't know. I don't like, people always dog on this whatchamacallit. What is this called? Category. People always dog in this category for their auto scrollers. I don't mind it. You know, sometimes you need a little break between all the excitement. And Eggman is the perfect break. Okay, so we're coming up near the end. This is a pretty quick level. So then we got another Eggman level. This is the only back-to-back character levels in the run, I believe. Ooh, 25's pretty good. My PB is a 225 something. Like lower, though. Pretty neat. So, oh yeah, also it counts down the score at the end of each level, so you have to mash through that or you'll lose like 3 seconds if you don't mash. So, got to keep that in mind. Alright, so this one is all pause buffering, and it can be a little sketchy. I mean, I have it down, I would say. See, this is the problem. I should not say that I'm good at something before I do it. It never ends well. It's always a bad feel. Oh, geez Louise. And then sometimes I just don't jump. So this guy's gonna shoot his freaking rockets at me, dude. But we're good. Oh, my hand is all messed up because to pause buffer, obviously you gotta hit A and start. And I have to kind of like, I use my middle finger, my index finger. And it's awkward. Oh, so that was good. That was like the hardest one, but that's pretty easy. Basically, the only thing with that pause buffer, that big fly strat, is the main thing is just like when you get there and the camera changes, it's just reacting to the camera change. So once you know how to do that, it's really not a big deal. Don't want to pop this balloon. That'll slow us down a little bit. For whatever reason, popping balloons usually slow you and like stop you in your spot. So want to try to avoid those most of the time. It's going pretty well. I think the only thing that went wrong was getting wrecked by that guy, but a lot of the times that guy's missiles are going to knock you right off the platform, but we were good. We survived. There is a cool strat that I could go for here. And I'm not going to go for it. Okay, sorry. You could jump on that. You could jump on that TV dish, and then you could hover from there. It barely it saves like a second at most. So I don't really do it because it's hard to get on the TV. There's like an invisible platform on it. It's a little pain in the butt, but so don't worry about that. I mean, there isn't honestly, that level could not have been done better. So congrats, everybody. You saw the peak of video gameplay tonight here at Valuethon. Okay, I mean today. It's noon. I hope everyone's having a good day, dude. This is a boss that I died to recently that you should never die to. This is Tails 1. You basically just shoot him, and then you fly, and then he charges you, and then you bore him, and then... Oh, God, that was bad, but whatever. He actually almost killed me again. He did the same thing. Maybe I should practice that. Oh, I split wrong. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's kind of annoying. There's a Tails 2 at the end of the run that has really hurt my soul. So this is Security Hall. This is probably my least favorite Rouge level. By the way, all Rouge levels, amazing music, especially this one. Especially Mad Space also coming up. Now this level, did I get the pick nails? Yeah, I think I did. If I didn't get the pick nails, that would be really unfortunate. In the last level, you're supposed to get something. Okay, so this level, the pieces... Whoa, what the heck? Oh, containers is over here. The pieces have to do, like, the hints are based on what number piece it is. So you could have the same hint for piece 2 and 3, but they could be in different places each time. And there's a lot of safes here. There's a lot of safes in this. Gotta kill this guy. It's random which guy that emerald could fit in, so, or be hidden in. The next one is empty. For this hint, I gotta go over here. Okay, see how it didn't, how the tracker didn't beep green or whatever? That means it's in yellow. If it did, that would mean it's in blue. Just a little cool strat that you could do there. If not, you could just get a second hint. And here we go. That was a little slow compared to my PB, but that was decent. I mean, that went pretty well. I did, thanks, guess. Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, because I was able to get through that. That always freaks me out, because in the in headquarters, there's that item, the pick nails. If you don't get that, then you can't dig into anything, and then basically, like, you lose. It's like, it's cut over. But no, we're good. This is a boss called Flying Dog. This is a pretty easy boss. It all really depends on this first hit. If I could get this first hit, then we golden, boys. But basically what I have to do is I gotta get a... Oh, I missed it. Frick. Oh, this is good, though. Oh, what? What the heck, dude? Oh, that's unbelievable. What did that happen? Jesus. Well, okay. This is a little sketchy now. It's fine. I could still do this. Okay, this is basically still the strats. It's just a little later. Don't worry. This is actually what we were gonna do anyways. Yeah, so you have to get that, like, corkscrew kick, which is kind of a pain to get. And you have to delay your hit on the first hit, or it won't kind of, like, pick it up. So yeah, that's kind of an annoying boss. And then he can start flying around and all. You basically have to know his cycles pretty well, because sometimes you could hit him immediately, and then sometimes you have to wait for him to stop. So it all depends. But yeah, you know, whatever. Easy boss. It should be more consistent for me, but whatever. Alright, White Jungle. This level is cool. I like this level. This level has a lot of the storage, like I was saying before. You're going to see it right off the bat here. We're going to jump around this thing and then store right under there. This level's pretty fun, actually. I've been incorporating a lot of cooler looking strats that save menial amount of time. But isn't that what speedrunning's all about? Saving 0.5 until... Oh, no! Oh, rip. Okay, well, so that was storage gone wrong. I tried to store there, and then, you know, the game rejected me. Rejected me asking it to go to prom with me. So rip, dude. Alright, let's try it again, man. Yeah, that one could be a little janky. That's the hardest storage in this level for sure. I just recently got that consistent, recently. So, yeah, obviously it's still not super consistent. Alright. Oh, come on! Alright, just jump around. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. We're gonna store through that. Okay, whatever. Alright, we're good. We're moving. We're living. It's not even a big deal. I'm not even worried. It's not like I could have still PB'd up to that point or anything. I actually probably could still PB if I get insane luck in mad space, but that doesn't matter, dude. We're not worried about that. So this is a cool thing. Oh, it worked. That's a cool little lap skip that I just got consistent recently. It's super fun. So if you store into that spring, you should be able to skip this spring. Yay! And so usually you're supposed to land on that spring, but if you store into it, you can just skip it. Now, also, I'm doing a thing called a a dash cancel? I actually don't know what it's called. Not a spin dash cancel. I'm doing a kind of cancel, though. Every time I release my jump... Oh, boy. This is kind of an annoying part. Every time I release my jump like that, I flick my thumb into the B button, and it cancels my dash or whatever that is. And that makes Shadow go a little faster and a little higher. So that's a cool little strat there.
That wasn't so hard.
All right, whatever, dude. I'm not even mad. I'm living. Hey, yeah, you guys also have my FFZs, so feel free to, you know, I mean, we got some solid FFZ emotes, but somersault storage, it's something like that. There's an actual name for it, but I don't know. I don't know the terminology. I just know to do it. I don't even do it as much as I should. I do it a lot of times. I'm trying to incorporate it better, though, because it is important. You know, it adds up, man. You do that for everyone, you're saving seconds. You're rolling. Speaking of rolling, we got Sonic 1. This is a really... I love this fight. If I could get this perfect, this is a super fun fight. Basically, you just wait for him to stop flashing, and I'll get wrecked. I didn't get an 11, though. That's what I wanted, but that's all right. Pretty good, pretty consistent. I came up with that strat from a mixture of other people giving me their strats. Actually, I think... Never mind. I think someone does the exact same thing as I do. That's better than me. So never mind. Whatever, though. That's a cool strat. There's a lot of cutscenes right here that you have to skip. Fun fact. There's like 3 in a row. Sonic in the Dark Story. Yeah, dude. And Knuckles and Tails. Multiple Tails and multiple Sonics. But only one Knuckles fight. I think that's messed up. I think that there should be 3 Knuckles fights. The Knuckles fight is actually the easiest one. Although, that being said, now I'll probably fail it. So this is Route 280. This is actually the second worst level in this entire game. It would be better than Route 101, which is the Hero Story equivalent of it, but it's longer. And anytime that you have to play this level anymore is just awful. I am a semi-obscure speedrunner. Alright? Wait, sorry. I'm a semi-obscure racing game speedrunner. And I hate this level. It's so boring. Basically, you have to snake like this to keep up. It's kind of complicated, but basically, when you're going fast and you press A, you get into this like skid kind of thing. And basically, you have to keep going back and forth, or it'll revert back to the other thing, where basically you're just going straight and slow. So... skidding is good because it retains your top speed, and it's like the fastest the fastest state the car can be in. I believe it's something like that. But yeah, so basically I'm gonna be skidding. It hurts my thumb. We get boosts through balloons and rings, because there's rings in the balloons, so mostly just rings. And the main thing is you don't want to hit any cars because they slow you down a lot. Hitting the sides isn't also not good, but not as important. It's not 3 actual laps. It's 3 segmented laps, like in Mario Kart 8. Whoa, okay, that's all right. There's some tight turns, as you saw, like right there. I mean, I am a god gamer, so I bet I'm making it look easy, but it's a little harder than I make it look. You can know if you're going top speed. Whoa, because it by the sound. I'm not listening to the sound though, but I can tell. Anyways, I've played this level too much, I think, more than anyone would really like to. But this is the second worst level in the game, because there is a level in Hero Story called Death Chamber, and that level makes me want to die. Everyone gives the Rouge levels shish for being bad, but I mean, Death Chamber is objectively the worst. It's so bad. Oh yeah, Deja Vu. Shout out to Initial D. This is the Salady. Fun fact. This is actually Mako. This is not Rouge. Hey, that was a pretty good time though. Sub 250 is what we like to see. Deja Vu. I've just been in this place before. Higher on the beat. Actually, the PC runners, they program different songs in certain levels, and Supersonic Racing is usually theirs for this level. If I was a PC runner, I would hecka put Eurobeat. You already know, dude. Heck yeah, man. Thanks for the Eurobeat, guys. Trust me, I'm a big Eurobeat fan. And I do love Initial D. Shout out to the Initial D tournament at AGDQ. Super fun. Ran by our boy Konosumi, which we are doing this all for. So, shouts out. Also, this is Skyrail. This is the quickest shadow level. This level is really fun, but it's also very volatile. Just like the last shadow level. Oh my god, I'm a legend, dude. I actually don't know what to do now. Frick, dude. All right, up the mountain. This is not the way you're supposed to go. Okay. Oh my god, I hope this doesn't screw me up. Oh no, here we are. Oh, my camera's weird. Whoa. Okay. So usually you're supposed to jump on a roof, but we took the scenic route, dude. We smelled some flowers. All right, and we're living, dude. Cool. I'm a legend. All right, beautiful stuff. Basically perfect gameplay. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it, so don't worry. You didn't miss anything. Wow, that was really lucky, dude. I think I've done that like a total of like 3 times. Yeah, basically you're supposed to jump on all of the Pumpkin Hill Island. That was daytime Pumpkin Hill, by the way. And then you're supposed to jump onto this roof, and then you're just immediately at the top of the place. But we did it a little different, you know. I put a little style in my speedruns. Cool, dude. At least we didn't die. So you want to shoot him in his left arm here. He's most susceptible to damages that way. And basically the reason is because you want to open up his robo nipples here. Oh! Give me your third nipple, boy. All right, great. And there we go. That was egg golem. That was actually a decent egg golem. Could have been a little better, but not bad. All right, great stuff, dude. Now, my favorite level in the game, Mad Space. This level is super fun. And super, like, there's a lot of cool fast strats that you can do. If you have really good knowledge, yeah. And hopefully I'll be able to do it. It all depends on my first piece. If I have a first piece that's very high up, I could do a cool guy 69 strat here. Okay, this one is on the bottom, which is fine. I don't... Oh, wait. It's under the thing. Where's the thing? Oh, my God. It's like in the other direction. Okay. So I'm dropping down like this because it's actually faster. Then, oh, here he is. Then just slowly dropping down. Oh, there we go. Then just kill yourself real quick. That was a really nice piece, actually. Also, I didn't check for if I got the free piece or not. Okay, we didn't this time. So now this is Sticking Star. Now this is all the way up, so we can still do the cool strat. So basically, right here. Oh! Oh! We did it! Oh boy, I'm gonna miss it. Okay, geez. All right, so there's that one planet has really bad pre-Mario Galaxy gravity that you have to break out of, and we did it, and it worked out great. And now we are gonna get Sticking Star, which I believe is right here. I mean, there's a couple Sticking Stars. Sticking Star. Oh, it's what? It could be over here. I didn't know that. Cool. Yeah, this piece could be in a bunch of places. Okay, now let's do this. Huge paperweight all the way back at the bottom. That's all right. This was good luck, I would say. Where is this? I don't. Oh, is this it right here? No, dang it. We are on the wrong side of the planet, but that's okay. Oh, frick. You know what? Actually, yeah, let's just take this. It's a much better idea. And then we can just go right here. All right, great. So that was a little slow, but that was fine. Fine level, dude. Fine time. You know, it was good because we got to show off some cool things. And I mostly knew where I was. But, you know, just a little not sometimes. All right, great. So now is Knuckles 1. I call him Knuckles 1. He is just Knuckles because there's no 2. But I like the numbers. I like the numerology. This one's super easy. We're just gonna like step on him a bunch. Shouts out to Rouge, DeviantArt. So yeah, we're just gonna kill him by stepping on him, by stomping on him, and then off to Cosmic Wall, the last Eggman level in the game, which a huge skip. All the big skips are coming up, by the way. We got 2 skips coming up at the end of the game. Cosmic Wall is a super free skip. And then, but the last one, Final Chase mini skip, is rough. But I've been pretty consistent. I shouldn't say that, but it'll probably go fine. So, shout outs to my girl Rouge, holding it down as always. Oh, also that was the best cutscene in the game that we just skipped right there, with the romantic tension between Knuckles and Rouge. It's actually it might be my favorite cutscene of any game. Way better than the Faker cutscene. Way better. This game has some good cutscenes, dude. So saying that it's the best is, I mean, that is honestly an honor. So with this level, you want to jump and because the gravity's all messed up, so you want to jump and then hover, and like hold your jump all the way out and then hover, and you get the highest hover that way. Oh, cool strat. Actually, that strat's super consistent now, which is nice. You're gonna go right up here. Ooh, just high enough. Good stuff. So you want to run as much as you can. You don't want to be flying because running is a lot faster, but you know. We do have to fly a bunch. This is nice pace so far. Good stuff, good stuff. Ooh, fly a little there. And basically this level is pretty straightforward. It's just this platforming and then the clip out, and that's really the only differences in time. This is a really nice paced Cosmic Wall so far. I just have to get a cool clip out, and then we will be golden girls. Whoa, okay. Alright, that was a little slow, but pretty decent. Alright, nice. So now we are clipped out, and now we are going to fly into the great JPEG beyond for about 2.5 minutes. Wait, 58. I gotta count because I have to reposition Eggman. Okay, so at 158, I gotta reposition Eggman. Basically, after you get into this position, 37 seconds later, you have to put him into a different position. So, just a little setup I have to avoid the kill planes. There's a couple kill planes around here, but they are not really going to bug us. They're not close. Yeah, dude, you guys could post Bulk Hogan. This is the emote that we always post. In Kirby Air Ride, whoa, geez, that was hard. That was a harsh turn, dude. In Kirby Air Ride, my other main speed game, there is a star called the Bulk Star, which can fly if you mash hard enough. And we like to say that this is a bulk fly. because I mean it basically looks like Bulk Star. And then I just have a Hulk Hogan emote. I don't really know why, but I do. So I really don't know why Hulk Hogan has to do with it, other than, I mean, I guess it's really all just in the name. It's just a nice name. It rolls off the tongue, you know. So yeah, that's basically it. So this thing that's coming down is the escalator auto scroller thing that you're supposed to take. You can actually do a cool thing if you are fast and godlike like Ethmar and not like me. You can actually, it's actually faster to cut back into the level, not skip the whole thing like I am doing here, and then just do the rest of the, like the end of the level. That actually is faster. Just by a little bit, like a couple seconds, and it's only if you're a God gamer, which I, you know, judging by my sky rail, maybe I am, dude. But, yeah, so. This is way more consistent, and this run is really a lot about consistency, so. Yeah, Bulk Hogan's a pretty nice emote. I enjoy it. It came out good. I mean, who doesn't enjoy Hulk Hogan? Gawker, haha. I was gonna say topical, but I actually don't think that's topical anymore, so never mind. 1, 2, 3, drop. Perfect. Now, I have missed this platform before on a good run, 45 seconds ahead, which is about like a minute of where I am right now. But we didn't this time. 3:55 is a good time. My best is 3:52, I believe. So now we got Tails 2. Tails 2 is a bit of a smooth criminal. He could give us some problems, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. I think we'll be able to hold him down well. So him and Tails 1, they won't move, by the way, or they won't shoot you until you shoot them. You know, Greedo shot first, whatever. Star Wars. So, yeah. So basically, we're gonna go up real close to him and get a free shot. Boom, and then we're gonna jump around him and then shoot. Oh, right in the kisser, dude. And then we have to avoid this beam. Oh my god, this is godlike so far. Oh, he shot me. Yay! That was beautiful, dude. If only I could do that in PB attempts. That would be nice. But that was good. That could have been a little better. There's a crazy fast strat that I get by accident sometimes, where you could get like a 15 Tails too, which is super nice. Basically, the thing in the middle explodes, and it explodes and hits him, and then you shoot him like right after. You combo him, kind of by accident. So this is the hardest stage in the game. This stage is relentless. It's so volatile. You can just fall out just by like one wrong move, and when you fall out, you're done. There's these things that I'm on right now called speed tubes, which do not have good physics. And it's a really rough level. There's also a big skip. Where am I? Okay. There's also a big skip in it, which is easy, but it is hard when you are on PB pace and nervous, because you have to hold or Can you maybe chill, dude? Oh my god. Because you have to hold a precise this might not work. Oh, Jesus. Okay, you have to hold a precise input. And when my hands are super shaky, it screws up the input and it drops the input, and then I fall and die and cry. So hopefully, I'm not nervous, luckily now. So hopefully I'll be able to show that off first try. And if not, we got a couple lives to show it off. I will be doing it though. We will see it, because it's a really cool skip. Oh! Did I die? Hello? Oh, Jesus. Okay. We're moving. Yeah, those guys with the arms can be a bit troublesome. Also, if you boost onto the speed tube the right way, you get an extra speed, which I did not get right here. These were actually all pretty slow speed tubes, but that's like a big way to speed up this level. So here comes the skip. It's super hard to explain, so I'm just gonna do it and then I guess try to explain it. Okay, basically I'm gonna run into this wall here, shoot into this wall, hold a spot. And now, see, we're stuck in this state. I just have to hold this and not shake. Boom. And here we are. Easy peasy every time. Yeah. Basically, you run into that wall, and then you shoot into the next wall. And then after that, you just, like, you hold a certain angle, and you just stay in that suspended animation, I guess, until you see a visual cue to release it, and then you can land on that platform and continue. So that's a really nice strat. Saves about 10 seconds, done optimally. 5 to 10. Oh, there's another shot I almost was able to do there. We actually had a fast speed tube right there at the end, which is important because you could skip that last spring, but I missed it a little bit. And then right here, you just hold down left and you break out of that gravity of that big speed tube. And you just end. That was nice. Pretty cool. Could have saved some, could have glotted if the earlier part of the level went well, but that's alright. And now this is the final split of the game. We are coming up on time on the 5th hit. Now this sucks. This is all timing. You just have to play this over and over until you get the timing. Basically, if something goes wrong though, things get a little wild. I'm not super good at reacting to it, but hopefully I should really practice that, honestly. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Time! Alright, man. Oh, 42:30. That is nice. My PB is a 41:23. So that was a good showing. Thanks for watching, everybody. Evil wins. We're gonna end up watching this cutscene. I'll be quiet. It is great.
Hello, Seraphim1313 here. Recording last story for the Sonic Adventure 2 relay run submission, along with Pearstrike and Ace or Taco. Unfortunately, Taco had to drop from submitting with us, so I'm going to be doing last story instead. Pear and I have talked about potentially switching off per character, since all the Hero and Dark Story characters are combined in this run. But for sake of simplicity, I'm going to record it as is. I'm also playing on a completed file, but that's only because out of simplicity's sake, the run doesn't change between a completed or uncompleted file. So last story is the culmination of the Hero and Dark Story and features a stages played by each character, plus Shadow has the boss. We don't have to actually take that. Just go down here. There's a mechanic in this stage where we use these time stoppers that will stop the flow of time, basically. By that, it can help us do a couple of things, like chaos are automatically invulnerable if they are stopped, which is really nice. So that's the first section, not too shabby. Yeah, the general storyline here is that the Ark is now crashing towards Earth, and we are going to stop it. Because the good guys want Earth to be saved, and the bad guys, like, well, we can't conquer anything if there's no Earth, so we might as well work together. You have to wait for him to show himself. I don't know why he punched there. Sometimes Eggman just kind of decides to punch whenever he wants. And then I want to make sure I can get onto that. Okay, good. Yeah, there's a cycle there that I'm trying to make. I got the second one actually, but the first one's so hard to hit that it's not even worth it. I'm going to hold my laser there because I'm about to go down here, and I'd like to get down as far as I can without having to deal with lasers, because then I have to stop and deal with all that, and I don't want to. Can I get up there? Oh. Well, it's not a big deal, because I can just pause jump anyway. Alright, that was the boring part of the run. Now it comes some exciting stuff. Rouge has a clip that I'm going to be using, so if you go over to the waterfall here, you can keep homing attacking in and... Oops, wow, I almost had it. It can be kind of a... There we go. You can clip out of bounds here and re-enter into this room. That saves us a good amount of time. I'm gonna time that so I can get under here. Alright, pretty solid Rouge section. Yeah, going back earlier, Hero and Dark and All-Star is going to probably be about a 140 estimated time. We unfortunately have to deal with some cutscenes that we can't skip, but I'll talk about why in a moment. Right now I'm trying to do a clip. There we go. You can get under there if you push Knuckles against the wall enough. This saves a ton of time, because otherwise you have to do some other puzzles, and it's really, really annoying and takes a long time, and it's kind of risky, to be frank. So unfortunately, part of the run we have to watch the credits after Hero and Dark Story, and that's because we get emblems after those two scenes, and that's going to be really important for us because that will unlock last story. So now I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a spin dash there. What I've just done is I've stopped time permanently, but I am going to reactivate it. So if you homing attack... Oh. So what happens if you... Can I get around this? Should be able to. So I kind of made a bit of a mistake. I've stopped time permanently, which is fine. This is a little bit slower if you stop time too much. If you do if you go too fast, you actually can stop time permanently because you go away from the sound of the switch. If when you hit the switch like I did, oops, if you... Okay, well, I fell in there, I guess. I don't know why. I wasn't homing attacking for some reason. But if you if you go too fast, you basically stop time permanently using that switch with Sonic. However, I wanted to reactivate it, but for some reason it didn't work. So now we're on to the first boss of 2, Biolizard. This boss is actually fairly quick, I guess. It's not very easy. What we're going to do is, instead of waiting for him to do all of his attacks, we're going to go over to this part of him. We're going to mash homing attacks because we can get up there if I do this right. That was too far. There we go. It was a little slow, but not too bad. And I'm just going to do this until the last hit, is then he automatically throws Shadow up in the air. Oop. Hang on. That went pretty well. One more of those hits, and then we'll deal... I got another thing I got to do. Nice. Alright, so now I'm going to stand on the edge here, if I can. Because I want to get as close to the middle as I can, because he's going to push me up in the air. And then it gives us... We usually can help avoid some of the bubbles if you're going quickly. Or like you stand on the edge and then move forward.
Get out, you ugly prototype.
That's probably the most rigorous part of the last story run, but otherwise it's all pretty consistent for the most part. Otherwise it depends on how quickly you can get clips. So the final boss of this game is Final Hazard. And the way this fight works is we want to hit these slots, like swelling points. It's not supposed to happen. So sometimes the collision can be really weird, and so it looked like I hit it, but I hit his skin and bounced backwards. It's kind of awkward, but it happens.
What kind of monster is this?
So you can use the A button and the B button to gain speed and go certain directions. That was really weird. I guess I must not have been holding it down enough. I guess you have to hold it down all the way. I must have shortchanged myself there.
Let me give it a try.
So all I have to do is hit him 6 times.
We're in danger. The colony will enter the atmosphere in about 4 minutes.
Here I come, you creep!
Alright, that wasn't too bad. The last two can be kind of tricky because
This is working. Son, how are you?
I have to avoid lasers and I have to avoid these little orb things. And where the swelling spot is random, so sometimes the lasers can be really, really annoying, but we're actually doing a pretty good job.
Shadow, are you okay?
Here I come, you creep!
Oh, I almost got trolled there, but we got him. So time is when the timer in the upper left-hand corner stops. So, oh, I didn't get sub 9. Oh well. Well, I got close. So,
I must
not too bad.
the evil the professor has created.
So that's last story for Sonic Adventure 2. I think the run as a general, although it's a little bit long, I think to have all 3 stories is really cool because it gives you a really full, complete look at the game. And it's got a lot of really cool tech in it, and I think even the story is always kind of memorable for me and always kind of cool. So I think it's a really neat run. Last story is not a really well shown category either, so I think being able to show off the end part of Sonic Adventure 2 would be a really neat thing to do. So thank you for watching, and I hope to hear from you guys soon.